This is one of those ones where one of those nights I'm gonna end up sleeping on the couch, so I can just kind of like look up at 2 o'clock in the morning and it's on. It's like, okay, cool, I can hang out for an hour and then crash again and then get back up and check it out. But yeah, this is one of those ones. This and any of those Ryder Cups that it starts super early. I'm gonna get up. It's worth it every single second.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another BestBall Roundtable. We are talking about the Open Championship. It's coffee golf season, which I know we've joked about before, or talked about before. But you know, when you get to wake up early, grab your coffee or Dr. Pepper for Jonathan, and sit there and watch some golf in the morning before breakfast. So, joined as always by Jonathan Hill, David Kirsch, and Josh Decker. Guys, how we doing?
Fantastic.
Good.
Doing great.
Good, good. Well, before we jump into it, many thanks to our friends at Summit Golf Brands. Jonathan is rocking a good-looking polo there from Bedrati. So those guys, Bedrati, Zero Restriction, Fairway and Green, they are great to work with. They have a lot of good stuff. Summer designs and things are out right now. So check out each of their websites. And if you use BestBall20, they were kind enough to give our listeners, both of you out there, a discount on their stuff. So yeah, check those out. Western Birch. I know we talked about this before. Decker, you mentioned you bought some for a work event. I don't know if you guys saw their release, pint OTs for this week. Did y'all see what they posted today?
Mm-mm.
They look amazing. It's like they took a pint of Guinness and turned that into a golf tee. So it's got the little at the top of the cup is kind of the kind of the
Nice.
creamy head of a Guinness, and it's that dark brown for most of the tea. Just it looked really cool. I sent Lewis an email over at Western Birch. Said, man, those are awesome. Well done. And he said, I hope people like it. So I think they will. I think they packaged it well. And Jonathan, they threw a coaster in with the pint glass.
Saw
The
that.
coaster's done by Jim Flannery at Buckeye Bag Tag. So
Nice.
another former podcast guest. So yeah, check out what they're doing. WesternBirch.com. Get the pint OTs pack before you watch the Open. So all right, 153rd Open Championship. Xander Schauffele is the reigning champ. The guys are headed up to, or they should already be there, to Northern Ireland, Royal Portrush. Any opening thoughts as we get started? Mr. Decker, I want to start with you. You got some nice flags behind you. None Open Championship worthy, I guess, but
No, it's the one major that I've yet to actually witness in person. I love the Open. There's nothing better than setting an alarm for 4 a.m. and just like literally the alarm goes off and roll over, grab the remote, and just turn on the television and just kind of. And you might doze off, but it's the best. Like it is the weather, the elements, the tradition, the history, all of it. I feel like the Masters is kind of in a league of its own in terms of the majors, and then I would put the Open as my favorite of the remaining. It's just different, and the test that it presents to these guys, and I'm sure Kirsch will tell us how that test, if it's a math equation or if it's a spelling test, what that test looks like. But yeah, it's my favorite. I cannot wait for Thursday morning. I will wake up super early, whether the alarm's set or not, and cannot wait to tune in and see what's going on.
what time? You said 4 or something. What time does the alarm go off?
Well, it'll 4 a.m. will probably be the alarm when the alarm is set. I will probably wake up just naturally at like 3:30 and just be like, oh my God, the Open, it's on. Turn on the television.
And that's Central Time. So
Yeah.
yeah. I used to do it early, but then I got so frustrated with so many commercials during that time. I feel like in the early morning hours, it's like, all right, we're going to show 2 shots
Yep.
and go back to a commercial. And it's like, why did I wake up for this? But anyway, Curtis, what you think?
That's why you got to get into the featured group coverage. Now that everybody's got that going, that's what the early mornings are for. You lock in on the feature groups and you just listen to the chatter. You listen to how the course is going to be playing. I think that's when you get the most. This is, I think there was another group of guys that get together and talk golf that was trying to decide if this was their favorite or the best week of the major at some point. And I do think that the Masters, like Josh said, sits alone, but there's something about this being at the end of July, and I just wish we still had the PGA to look forward to. This is so quick after the U.S. Open, and then you go right in for us, the 4th of July, and then the next thing you know, we're here at the Open Championship. So I'd like to see a couple of more events in this area, but this is by far one of the courses that I'm looking forward to. As soon as it was on the Rota coming up, and I think it was 19, I couldn't wait to see what Portrush was going to look like in the morning. We know what happened to Rory, and to see it come right back again within 6 years, I'm just pumped to see a couple of the tweaks. But it's not a course you got to make a lot of changes to. So excited to see how the guys are going to play it. But I will be. This is one of those ones where one of those nights I'm gonna end up sleeping on the couch, so I can just kind of like look up at 2 o'clock in the morning and it's on. It's like, okay, cool, I can hang out for an hour and then crash again and then get back up and check it out. But yeah, this is one of those ones. This and any of those Ryder Cups that it starts super early, I'm gonna get up. It's worth it every single second.
Which is funny, you mentioned Ryder Cup, and you mentioned, Rob, you mentioned the commercials, because I'll never forget the 2018 Ryder Cup in Paris when it was nothing but commercials.
But commercials.
Yes, it was commercials nonstop, and it was infuriating. So hopefully that doesn't happen Thursday morning.
Yeah, you think they fix it? They haven't, I'm sure.
Yeah. I think there was 9 golf shots from 3:30 in the morning to 4:30 in the morning. And I was like, what did I get up for?
No, it makes it to where people are trying to figure out, how do I get Sky Sports, right? Like they want to watch that broadcast instead of NBC or wherever it is. So, Jonathan, you waking up early?
I'll have to decide which gets the big screen, the Tour de France or the golf, because I'm up already watching the Tour de France every single morning. Every time I think about this coming up, I think of Kirsch's reworking of the schedule, because it's July 14th and it's over. Like the majors are gone. We happen to have the Ryder Cup this year, so that'll be fun. But you're kind of like, wait a minute, why is it July and we're already finished with everything that's supposed to be the big deal? So maybe someday someone will figure that out. They'll listen to our podcast and be like, you know what, maybe we should hire David to be president and CEO of everything, and he can fix golf for the rest of us.
That's true. Well, the Ryder Cup is a little over 2 months away after this thing's over, so a long
and the
time.
FedEx Cup. Don't forget that.
Oh, the FedEx Cup. Yes. Yes. Waking up early for that. Did you guys watch? I know we talked about we'd love to see more events here. Did y'all watch the Scottish Open?
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. It's so fun, right? Like, I mean, watching what Goddard did, going head-to-head with Rory there, just at a course. Again, we don't get to see these courses often enough. And watching him at the Renaissance do his thing, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, no, I think this is perfect where, the more schedule stuff and the more looking at it. I was looking at because they were talking about the 2026 schedule today, so I started to look through it, and it's shocking how few regular events come after July 1st. I mean, it's just really shocking how it moves. You basically have 4, 5, 6, 7 6 events, and then you go into the playoffs, and then one of the team ones, and it's kind of like it's over. And if you were starting with the Scottish and followed by the Open, followed by the Irish, and maybe the rule on the PGA Tour or DP World Tour is you have to play in at least one of the Irish and the Scottish. So if you're somebody that likes to play before, you get that option. If you're somebody that doesn't want to play before, you get that option. But you're over there, you get 2 or 3 weeks over there. There's going to be people that are going to play all 3. And then maybe you throw in an off week, and then there's pick a country open in Europe. And who says no to a month in Europe, and you get coffee golf, and it's over here in the States. We can watch it early. And, I think CBS even pushed it too late this year. I think it would have been nicer for that to get done at 12 or 1 Central Time, so that you can be out on the golf course yourself and you get to go. But if you have that coffee golf in the morning, you watch it, you knock it out, and then you get to go do your thing still. So I think that there's still room for it. It just makes me wish that we still had the Scottish Open and then Irish.
Yeah. I think, I mean, like you said, who wouldn't want to spend a month over there? If you were a professional golfer and you had these big events, and you could say, hey, family, we are going to go for a month to Scotland, England, Ireland, whatever. Like, pretty good selling point, right? Like, I think I'm
not a professional golfer, and I'd still do it.
You want to do it, though.
Yeah, like I'm not a professional golfer, but like, hey, family, let's go stay for a month in Europe.
I don't know.
And there's
2027, they are playing where you shot an 88. So back at
yeah.
the old course.
And
Are you saying they need me to come play?
They do need you to come tell them where to hit it and where not to hit it.
Is it open? Like I could actually qualify like the U.S. Open? Probably not.
Sure,
I just have to get a British citizenry or something
yeah.
like that.
you can figure it out.
I could do
And the
that.
Sure,
cool thing is
get your
there's
caddy.
there's different ways to go about it. Shane Lowry has taken the last 2 weeks off. He's attended some rugby. He's done Wimbledon. He's I think he was at the F1 race. There's that route. Then there's the Scotty and some of those guys are out that they got there a little early. They played North Berwick and then they went right into the Scottish, and then they're going to have the Open, and then maybe they stay and do a little vacation on the back end. There's just different ways to do it, and it makes too much sense for I don't know for the powers that be, but it is what it is.
Or you could be like Jordan Spieth, and he and his wife had a baby like 2 or 3 days ago, and then he's jumps on a plane to go over there. So,
I know these
uh,
things can't be timed, but he's got to. They should have like how long it takes pretty figured out by now.
Yep.
That maybe we can stop having kids before major events like the Ryder Cup and the Open Championship.
when you've already won a number of them, yeah, I think you just do the family thing, man, and let golf come around it. So anyway, who knows? Maybe he's like not the wounded golfer, but like the everybody's thinking he's going to be sleep deprived and all this other stuff. He might sneak up there and do something. He has been playing better this year. So
Yep.
anyway, next year Royal Birkdale. We'll talk more about that later. And again, 2027 at the home of the 88, where Jonathan reigns supreme. So. Some of the prop bets, I was going to go through this. I looked at DraftKings just to see big guns versus the field. What do you guys think that's at right now? Big guns being, here's what they listed: Scheffler, Rory, Rahm, and Bryson. Do you think people would go more that or the field?
Plus 450 for the big guns. I'm guessing.
It is plus 160 for the big guns and minus 200 for the field.
Wow.
And it was Scotty, Rory, and who else?
Rahm and Bryson.
They're the top four right now. Like they've got them
Give me the
picked.
field.
You
I would
take
take the field.
Yeah, I would take the field also.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the Open Championship, and I mean, I don't know if this is going to be one of the things that we're going to get to in a little bit, but it's so draw dependent that you could be playing have great form, and you could go out and make the cut on the number, but be 10 shots back just because
Blow
your
it
tee
40.
time was early late instead of late early, and it's that simple. So for me, it's unless the cat's involved, give me the field in this situation.
And even then, and yeah, we'll touch about
Yeah.
it here in a second, but even then, you make the cut on the number. You might put up a good Saturday early, weather rolls in or something, and all of a sudden you're back in it on Sunday, even just barely making the cut. But another prop, first time winner, yes, minus 450, no, plus 320.
Ooh.
First time winner of that event or first time winner ever?
Ever. I think it didn't say. It didn't say first major winner.
That feels like
I feel like that might mean first time winner of the Open.
Of the Open, I would
Okay.
think. Yeah, at those odd numbers, that's what I would
Yeah.
say.
You think somebody would win their first Open?
I would take yes, first time winner of the Open.
Okay. Any? We'll get to our dark horse picks, but I mean, a Goddard, is he somebody that is he just on form and can continue that for a second week? And
Well, he was pretty high up at the PGA at Quail Hollow. Renaissance has a lot of, I think it was built for Americans to have a place to call their, kind of American style club overseas. And I think that it really rewards hitting the ball far off the tee. And that's what Quail Hollow did as well. So I think that's why Goddard, you know, achieves at certain points like that. I don't think that there's going to be anybody from outside the top 40 in the world that's going to be really contending in this one. I do think it's going to be more top heavy when you think of the top 40 people in the world.
And that's what's
why?
fascinating about that DraftKings prop is Scotty, Fleetwood, DeChambeau, Ludwig, Hatton, Hovland, Bobby Mack, Fitzpatrick. I mean, I skipped the guys in the odds that already have a claret jug, to my knowledge.
Right.
Does Rom have one? Rom doesn't have one, does he? So Rom's in there also. So there's a pretty elite group of players who have not won one yet. Yeah, I would definitely take the first time winner versus someone who already has one.
And word on the street is Rom's actually playing pretty well. It's a very small street, but I haven't heard. Jonathan, what do you think? Do you think a newbie could do this?
Um, uh, if you're talking about nudes never won, sure. Like Decker just said, if you're talking about someone that's never won any major, I don't think that happens. I just think that there's too much pressure. I mean, I don't know where it's got to be an easier course than this. It's got to be easier conditions than this, unless you just happen to like, his mother was a mutter and his father was a mutter, like that sort of thing. But otherwise, the pressure of being in the middle of this and also the impact of the weather is just one of those things. I feel like you have to have something underneath your belt, or maybe you get the luck of the draw, like Kerr said, right? If you get the odd time of the day that it just works out right, it could end up like, I mean, we played 5 days in a row in Scotland and Ireland and never had bad weather. That would be really crazy. Then all of Kirsch's theories about what questions you have to answer would be ruined.
What are your theories?
Where to get started? Uh, I think that I think that it's really important because this one, for some reason, always kind of sticks with me, and I really have a. It's been a minute, and I feel like we're due. But the playoff holes this week are 1, 13, and 18. It's a three-hole aggregate playoff. I think there's a playoff in our future, and you got to stand up on the tee, and it be a 2 for 1 spot, or maybe a 3 for 1 spot. But there's OB left and right on number one. There's OB left on 18. There's nothing easy about that, and I have a feeling that we're going to see a playoff type situation, and I think that those holes are going to matter all week, whether it's Thursday or Saturday, Sunday, or a playoff. I think 1 and 18 in particular are going to be fascinating holes to look at, and I think that's the cool thing about Portrush. I think Portrush is going to show that it's a rota course this week.
What do you think? What do you think about if somebody gets into a playoff or they're right there at the very end and they hit it out of bounds? Let's just stick in the playoff since that's what you're talking about. Like if you had a 2-3 person playoff and one of the guys drills it out of bounds. I know it's an aggregate, but I mean, is that a letdown off the tee? Like all of a sudden it's like, oh, the other guy's got it. I mean, are y'all in
Well, I
favor of
think we
that?
just saw it at the Evian. I think we saw it at the Evian. She knocked it into the water. She basically hit a shank with a hybrid, hits it in the water on Sunday morning to get coffee golf started over in France. And, the competitor is right up on the green in two on a par 5, looking like a sure to birdie. And it wasn't even a chip in, it was a 45-yard pitch shot that she rolled in for birdie. And then all of a sudden now we got to get up and down for birdie just to stay in it. And so I think that's the beauty of the aggregate in this situation is that, yeah, you could have a bad hole, but somebody else could have a bad hole on 18. Depends which way that wind is blowing, or if it's blowing at that moment versus another moment. So the aggregate really allows for that. And at the end of the day, you got to win the Open. So yeah, hit the ball between the white stakes. I don't think that's an unfair question.
And as Josh and I were just talking before we started recording, sometimes your driver just doesn't want to cooperate, and it could go left and right. But I doubt that happens to many of the guys in the field this week. So, Josh, what you think?
So it looks like it's just going to be raining. I just pulled up the forecast. Maybe half an inch Thursday, a tenth of an inch Friday, a tenth of an inch Saturday, and less than a tenth of an inch Sunday. So
Huh. Well, the forecast I pulled up just now said dry all weekend. So it's interesting.
that is
They have the
They
same
don't.
weather guys we do, huh?
It's the
Yeah,
British.
right.
British doesn't count rain. They don't count rain over there if it's just a tenth of an inch.
yeah,
They're like, that's not rain.
right.
That's true.
That's not rain at all.
That's a Tuesday.
Right.
Yeah.
We start counting till it's at least a half inch of rain.
Um, what? So, we talked about the Open just kind of always being fascinating because the elements is different, wind, rain, and everything. Jonathan mentioned that when we were there, we got none of those elements. I think it got a little breezy, probably 15 miles an hour. But at least at Karn, when we played the Open, our caddy said, yeah, they cut down the fescue a little bit between the holes because we got to play it on the reverse routing. They said we would lose way too many balls because we don't even know exactly where you guys might be hitting it. So they cut it down. But at Karn, there was fescue everywhere, and we found it, and then we lost a lot of golf balls. But Jonathan, I guess now that we've seen a little bit of link style golf, does that make you more excited to watch these guys do it?
Yeah, because like we watch him hit bad shots here in the U.S., right? And you got spotters, which I think if spotters were there whenever you're playing regular golf, you wouldn't feel as bad about your golf game because part of the feeling that you really suck at golf is the fact that you're kicking around leaves and everything else. But these guys, like they're off to the side, but they're in a bunker, maybe they're in a rough, but you get into that real thick stuff and someone finds your ball and suddenly you've got to go the opposite direction because of grass, not because of a bunker, not because of trees in the way or anything else. Like you're just looking for the chip shot to get out. But that's why they're pros, right? We want to see the creativity. We want to see what they can do. Uh, I I wish every single player and caddy were mic'd up the entire time because listening to those conversations in the middle of that, trying to talk them down, trying to make decisions about which club to use, I think those are fascinating conversations that even just peering in sometimes, like I'll listen to something on a Friday and go play golf on a Saturday and think, maybe I shouldn't use the same club out of the rough every single time just because it's the one I don't care about. And so, like, I'd love to see these guys. If there was a mound somewhere and someone has to climb a mound and hit a shot like I had to, that'd be fantastic. I think that's so entertaining.
Yeah. Well,
We'll probably
I will.
miss it because of a commercial though. So
That's true. I will say hitting out of fescue. We always talk about, and a lot of people probably think, oh, it's not that bad. It's kind of wispy grass or whatever. But having done it now over there and some other places too that has it, but it's not easy. That stuff does grab your club shaft and twist it, and all of a sudden you had found it real quick, but you hit it and it went a foot and you've lost it. Like it's impossible. So that's fun. The bunkering, I love the bunkering over there, and watching these guys, like Jonathan was saying, get creative with. I can't go straight at the hole. I can't grab my 5 iron and crush it out of the bunker. 200 yards to the green. I got to go sideways. So, Curse, what you got?
Um, what do you guys? This is a lightly bunkered golf course when it comes to Open Championship. And if you are looking at the people, I think that allows people who play the ball high to have a better chance at an Open Championship too. So I think it brings in more golfers. Um, I was just looking at the 13th hole because I couldn't remember. I wanted to say it with the part with the playoff part of this. It's a 199-yard downhill par three with a green that runs front to back, completely exposed to the element. Like, I think that I just think this is going to be must-watch TV. I really hope this is not a giant letdown this week because it is. I'm so excited to watch every single shot that happens on this golf course. There's not one thing that looks tough. I mean, like tough from the point of like you know Quail, like, is that another 399-yard par four? Another 499-yard par four? No, we've got dog legs. We have actual hills. We have slopes. I mean, everybody knows you guys were there. It's the bumps and the bumps and the bumps. Well, this one's got, 120 feet of elevation change from the highest point to look like it's a different type of test. And I just think every single hole stands out, which is hopefully it looks great on TV.
The ball on
Yeah,
the ground, the ball being on the ground creates such a fun opportunity for viewing and for us to watch and to see what happens. Like and like we might see guys hit putts from 60, 70 feet, and that is so much fun. Like that's what I look forward to. Hopefully Thursday and Friday morning at 4 a.m. Turning the television on, and Scheffler has a flat stick in his hand from 60, 70 feet. Like that's what's fun about it and that's what the Open gives us every year. It's just such a unique, and I don't want to poop on quail, but quail was kind of boring, and it just there was no teeth to it. And there's something about the weather over there, the elements, and then how the golf courses are built because of those elements that make it the best, make it the absolute best. I can't wait.
Do you wish more courses here would be like that?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you guys know that I love Sweetens Cove. If I can putt it, I'm putting it. Like if I'm off the green by a pretty substantial distance, I'm gonna putt it just because that takes less of the trouble out of play, um, minimizes the risk. Yeah, it's link style golf's so much fun. Now
Well,
I haven't played true link style golf, but yeah, it's fun to watch that and the creativity of that versus hitting a wedge that's going to spin 2 feet and stop, where you take the slopes into play and everything that the terrain has to offer. It's just different.
You said
now,
create.
now the oh, go ahead.
Who can hit wedges that spin and stop 2 feet? Like what creativity meant? You're speaking a language that most of us don't understand. We're putting from 50 yards off if there's nothing in the way.
You could still. I mean, I remember. I think Shane Lowry did it on the fifth hole on the last round in 2019. I think the pin is really five's the drivable par four, but the farther you take it on, like the more you bring the bad stuff into play, and I think the ocean is what's long of the green. So, or the bay is what's long of the green, so you got to be careful there. But I mean, it was five different humps on the green. He's got to pitch it over to get to this back pin, and it was just a really professional golf shot. But the thing about the links courses in general is that I could go out there and I'm going to feel challenged from my tees or any tees because that's going to be really hard. But I can take my dad out there who's, you know, a 10 or 12. I can take my father-in-law out there who maybe more than that. And, like, but is going to play the lower br- game and can get it up. But like if I'm going to go play a really nice course on vacation, there's an above average chance that they may not want to go do that because they have to fly everything to the front of the green. They've got to fly everything there. It's got to be able to hold the green so it doesn't go long. And it opens up. Scotty said it last week. It just, somehow he's still perplexed that the conditions aren't perfect and gets really flummoxed if the ball doesn't do exactly what he's looking for. But he even said it last week. It just offers a much more creative way to play the game.
I completely agree. And that's what, when you have, like you were saying, stock shots that we would normally go to, and you're like, you know what, I need to have, a range above and beyond that club, or, above it or below it, and figure out how to play different things, like you said, Josh, like get it on the ground, watch it bounce. And the fun part about it is sometimes these really good shots, you might get a bad bounce because that's the way it is, and it's fun. Or you might get an incredible roll, and it rolls past, danger, and it just somehow keeps going and ends up in a ridiculous spot. So it is fun to watch. One that for sure I know we will all be excited to get up and do it. So, all right, Kirsch, let's get into Kirsch's minute here of a rant. I don't know if you got it or if you've already kind of rolled through some of that stuff. Oh man, Decker's ready.
Nope, haven't even touched it yet.
All
So
right.
there is a golf course that is a part, allegedly, of the Open Rota that is arguably the greatest golf course in the world. And after the 2013 Open, which is considered one of the best major championships that we've ever seen, especially on a Sunday, we haven't seen it. And the Open, unlike our Open, which has everything planned out to I think 2077, they've only got the next 3 years announced. And it's time at the press conference this year, maybe tomorrow or Wednesday, whenever the RNA does it, it's time to announce Murfield Village is back in the rotation. It bumped out because of their exclusivity, where they were the only club that did not allow female members. That almost like they called the bluff and said, no, no, we're going to stay how we are. And the RNA said, fine, you're not going to get the Open and you're out of the Rota. Well, the very next year, they revoted. They have female members now. They've had it for more than 7 years, I believe, at this point. And it's time to get the best golf course in the world out of purgatory. and get it back in the rotation, even if it's once every 10 years. That's a golf course that the world should get to see the best golfers play, and it should have the best golf played on it. And I think it's time. That's my message to the RNA. I think I've gone after every governing body at some point this year, and the RNA, it's time to release them from their from their spot and get them back in the rotation coming up in 2018 or 2028, which will be 15 years from the duel between Stenson and Mickelson, and it'll just shine super bright, and it'll be a great callback to it. And go ahead and acknowledge why they lost it and use it as a learning moment. Like, I hope we learn some things about Northern Ireland. I think that all of these courses have their flaws, and I think they all have their beauty. And Portrush has out of bounds on the left side because somebody won't sell them the land. It's just that simple. They don't own it, and it just happens to be right there in the middle of the golf course. So um, it is what it is, but it's time for the RNA to do it right, and let's bring Murfield back for the 15th anniversary of the last duel in the sun.
I love it, man.
Kirsch for
Open
president.
156 at Muirfield. You heard it here first. That'd be
That's the goal.
That would be awesome. That was such a good Open, man.
It was.
Mhm.
It was.
That was a
It's
lot
amazing
of fun.
what really good golf courses do for golf tournaments. It's
How about
shocking
that?
how that works out.
If they announce that this week, we've got to start planning our trip to Muirfield. Like, there's no way that we've got to. We got 3 years. We've got to figure out.
On-site roundtable? I love it.
100%.
All right. Well, Kirsch, you heard it there first. Decker,
Did I read
I'll start.
correctly? This is only the third time that the Open has been outside of Scotland or England.
Yep.
Which that's kind of crazy to me. I feel like Ireland would have hosted it more than just 3 times in the 152 years it's been in existence.
Well, it's the
Could have been
third
some
time
social
it's
unrest.
been at Portrush. It's the third time it's at Portrush. I know 51, I have it here. Max Faulkner won, and then 2019, obviously Shane won. So this is the third time they're hosting it. Kirsch is
Only the third time outside of England and Scotland.
okay. Kirsch is efforting to.
Yeah, I think Portrush is the only one
That's
to
hosted.
host it in Ireland. Yeah, like County Down's never done it or anything like that.
Which
That's crazy. That is crazy. There's a lot of good golf. So it'd be fun to see it somewhere else. Jonathan, you think Karn? You think they could host it?
I don't know if they quite have the infrastructure there. they'd have to do something with their putting green.
The putting greens?
Yeah. Well, no, like the warm up putting green.
There was what, like four holes or cups
4
on it?
holes. Yeah. Was there a driving range? I don't think there's a driving range either. They could buy what's his
There might have
face?
been.
They could buy the farm that my caddy lived on. He's right next to it.
Gary?
We said hi to Gary's mom and dad as they were walking down the lane. So maybe
Well,
they could.
all of
buy-
that stuff can change. I mean, look what the PGA and what they're going to do to Bethpage for the Ryder Cup, and what they've done to it for the U.S. Open. The red course, I think number one on the red course is a par 5. Now it's playing as a par 3 because that's where the merch tent's going to be, and the driving range is over there. The merch tent's on the actual driving range, so they can move all sorts of stuff. But outside of Rory and Darren Clark and Patty Harrington and all these guys winning Opens and really shining a spotlight on Ireland, part of the reason it's in Portrush is the fact that it can sell tickets. This is a heavily ticketed Open Championship compared to some other ones. Once you get outside of St. Andrews, they don't fill the stands. They don't sell out like a U.S. Open and get the thousands and thousands of fans. And something like a Portrush that has the infrastructure around it and can handle it, and there's other surrounding towns and cities that can get people there. It's a major portion as to why Portrush is theirs, because they sold the most tickets they'd ever sold at any Open Championship at the 2019 Open.
Card would be great, but I think there's 2 hotels, so there's like 8 rooms,
The
maybe.
Talbot? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not enough fish and chips in all of them.
No.
Would y'all, let me ask you, talk about selling tickets and travel and things like that. And Josh, you said it's the major you haven't gone to, is that right?
It is.
And we have not been to it either. Do you think a lot of people, if they made it easier, maybe they do, and we just haven't looked at it, packages where there would be hospitality options to go to it and then golf surrounding it, like at different places?
So I was talking to the group I was with this past weekend at Landman about this because we were all watching the Scottish, and I offered the opinion of I'd rather go watch the Scottish without all of the just massive crowds and everything that has to do with
Hmm.
that, and go watch that event because the field is so good, and probably hang there Saturday, Sunday, maybe play golf somewhere Monday, Tuesday, sightsee Wednesday, and then maybe go to the actual Open Thursday, and then head home. But now Kurt's telling me that you can go to an Open and they're not going to be sold out if you go to other locations other than St. Andrews. It's kind of intriguing. Um, but no, it's just like I'd love to just go experience it with the locals in that area and watch the golf with them in a regular golf tournament as opposed to the major. You might think I'm crazy, but there's something about being ingrained in that society in that area and just experiencing it with them that happens kind of every year at the Renaissance Club versus, okay, here's Portrush. All of Ireland is now uh, coming to this area, and who knows what rates would be on hotels and all that kind of thing. So I viewed it kind of differently. Y'all might think I'm crazy for doing that, but you could still see some of the greatest golfers in the world experience what watching them play links golf is like. Maybe catch a practice round and then an actual competitive round of the Open, and then you head out. I don't know. It was I was just watching. I was like, I would like to go watch this and be right there, like on the ropes, without all the pomp and circumstance of a major, and then catch the front end of the major and then do other things.
Yeah, I think I'd want to go play more than watch it at that point. Like I'd almost rather be there in April or be there in June while the Masters and the US Open are going on over here and go play and then spend time at a local establishment, hopefully a watering hole, hopefully a pub, and watch, those the US majors over there with some proper golf fans too and experience that and then go back out and do some, some night putting or, whatever that looks like. But I think it'd be cool to do that. I don't know. This is the one of those super spoiled takes, but you really don't get to see a ton when you're at a major. And unless you're there for like a truly awesome moment, like if I was sitting around 18 green and got to watch Rory do that or um, go through that experience, I'm gonna remember hanging out with Eli and my dad and watching it and experiencing it and coming, like, do we leave this golf course? No, let's watch it here. And like, like doing all of those type of things in the moment instead of, kind of sort of saying I was there. That's why I always say give me the practice rounds and then let me go and watch it so that I can truly get as much of the golf as possible.
Jonathan, do you see yourself in a couple of years being back at St. Andrews with our same Airbnb and then going over and watching
If
the finish of the Open Championship there at
if
the
I
old
could,
course?
if I get the same Airbnb, heck yeah, man. Like that's downstairs, a nice little
And
coffee
he is
shop,
frozen,
and
so we will come
I was
back
gonna
to
say I
him.
think he's frozen.
He
I
is
could,
sitting very still thinking about
oh
that
man,
question, so we won't ask him about that. I think it would be fun to be there, but I like you. I'm like you guys. I would rather play. When we were there in St. Andrews. It was leading up. We flew back the Wednesday of Masters Week, and so we were sitting in the Dunvegan with a ton of people there and just having a pint watching the press conferences and stuff of Masters Week was kind of fun. So um, yeah, I think I would rather go play. I'd rather
I
kind of keep those things separate. But if I was there, I'd
we
go watch it.
we were talking about on the 4th of July. Let me get over there, that first week of Wimbledon and that Thursday or Friday. Let me watch one of those opening rounds of Wimbledon. Doesn't matter what court, but I just want to say that, walk the grounds, dress fancy for a day. Look at all the really expensive things that I can't have and, give me a strawberries and cream And let me say that I watched Wimbledon. Check out, the F1 race that Sunday, and then head over to the Scottish and watch a practice round, or even stay there for Thursday's round, fly back out, and then I'm home in time to watch the Open Championship. Like, to me, that would be way more of an ultimate trip to that area. Um, because you'd have to almost do it when it's at St. George's, so that it's in England, for the Open Championship. Otherwise, you're probably moving around too much.
Man, just I'd rather go back over to Scotland or Ireland and just go play. So it'd be
But that's
fun.
funny. That's what Eli and I were talking about, because we were talking about you guys a little bit too. But it was like, he's like, they're just courses like this everywhere. It's like everywhere. Like, you can just stumble upon the coolest course that you've ever seen in your life, and like seven people, two goats, and a sheep are on it, and it's going to be like the best golf course you've played that year. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
With an honor
yeah,
box where you just put a
yeah.
couple dollars in the box and go. Yeah.
yeah. You just go. I love it. All right, so we're talking. Let's start wrapping this thing up. Long shots. We already talked about y'all would pick the field versus the big guns. Another prop bet before we go into long shots, y'all can start thinking about it. Any player bogey free for 72 holes is plus 25,000.
So, what if they make a double bogey?
uh,
And bogey free considers anything over par,
yeah,
is
yeah.
what it would actually break down as.
Okay.
If any player,
Any player.
That's
You
worth
just
putting.
need one person to go 72
I mean, it's
holes
worth a
without making a
$5
bogey.
bet.
Yeah.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, yeah. If I was in a
Yep.
state that allowed me to bet, then maybe I would. But
Yeah, I'd put $10 of free DraftKings money on that.
Would you consider Justin Rose a long shot?
I don't know. Would you?
He's plus 5,500.
they have him as the contenders, according to Golf Week.
Okay.
Long shots are anybody over like plus 12,000.
Oh goodness. Let me scroll.
Yeah,
Wait.
I think just he would probably be considered a long shot, age and everything else, but he's playing well.
I
So
was going to say he was second in the Masters. Like, it's hard to be like, who is this guy? Where did he come from this year?
yeah. All right, Kirsch, who you got for a long shot?
Man, now that we've changed the criteria, because I was going to cheat and say Tommy Fleetwood, since he never gets it done. He's probably the
Oh
longest
no,
of long
his
shots.
odds are great. He's in like the
Yeah, he's like
I know,
fourth.
he's like 25 to 1
Yeah.
or something like that. It's
Don't-
crazy.
Don't talk about my person like that.
Probably Sep. I'm going to say 65 to 1 as a long shot. I think anybody over 50. I don't know. I think Sep.
So I see 7 40.
Is he that much? You've got him at 45.
Yeah.
And I've got him at 60. I see 65. So maybe I'm going to put some money on 65 so that I can go that route. But I was kind of
I
thinking
think he
him or
could do it.
JJ Spawn. I think nobody would count Spawn again. And this is his year. And if the rule is, if what Patty Harrington's rule is that every golfer experiences an 18-month peak, and everybody's peak is a little bit different, but when you go on your run's about 18 months. And Steps was kind of sort of at the very end of last year into this year. This is coming close. So if there's a window for him, or not Sep, Spawn, to do it again, this would be the one. And the guys that pick off two randomly are in the middle of their 18-month heater. Harrington did it his 3 in 18 months. Marco Mera did his 2 in 1 year. Nobody had Marco Mera to do that. And I just think that if somebody's going to do that, so I'm going to go with Spawn as my long shot.
I love it.
I was trying to call a timeout. I was trying to call a full. I have nothing against JJ Spawn. If he wins the Open, I don't think that's good for golf. Like I think people tune out.
It sounds like me.
Huh?
Is this what I sound like with my takes?
No,
He's not
no,
worthy.
I'm just telling you,
It is.
I'm like, oh my, because I didn't even consider that a possibility for Sunday afternoon, and now I'm like, oh my god, if JJ Spawn is coming down 18 and has like a 2-shot lead or whatever to win the Open Championship, I'm not going to be happy. Like that is going to be, because I feel like he's like Brian Harmon winning 2 years ago. Like, okay, you got your one, you got on a heater on a weekend, now go away. Like, because there was no juice to that. Y'all might feel differently, but I feel like we're owed, like you said, the playoff. And if JJ's in the playoff, that's great. But if he's in the playoff against Russell Henley, I'm probably going to go to sleep. Like, I just don't want to watch that. Like, that does nothing for me.
Go to sleep at 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, nap time.
What are you
11
gonna do
a.m.
when Nick Taylor's threatening on Saturday?
Click.
Oh man, Jonathan, who you guys a long shot?
I want to say Patrick Cantley just to listen to Kirsch rant again.
Who? Is he in it?
Patrick Cantley.
Who?
Right, exactly. There it is.
Delta, DeWalt, all the
Evil
I'll tell you
Adjustable
what.
rate mortgages.
I'm gonna go true long shot. Sergio Garcia.
Oh, we lost him again.
Lost him again. I'm guessing he's going. Oh, he's
Did you
back.
guys hear?
There we go.
True. I can keep hearing you
Yep.
guys. True long shot. Sergio Garcia.
Oh, gross.
He's listed as like. It's gross.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's a real cool man.
Jonathan keeps breaking up. I'm a boo his Sergio take.
You're just gonna edit that out. We're not gonna allow Sergio to even have a chance. No one gets to say Sergio.
You can take Sergio.
Sergio.
He doesn't like you, just like he does not like the rest of the PGA. So
That's okay. Everybody needs a villain.
everybody, well, Kirsch, we got any villains out there?
If Pete Reed has a good Ryder Cup, I'm sure there's going to be too many people that or a good Open. There's going to be a lot of people saying that he should be on for doing absolutely nothing, but that's going to be a very villainy situation, and I'm going to check out of that conversation.
Yeah. All right, Decker, who's your long shot?
I'm going to go with Daniel Berger.
Okay. Why is that?
There's no rhyme or reason behind that, Robbie.
Okay. All right. I'll go with a recent winner, but he's still, according to DraftKings, at plus 20,000. Aldrich Potgieter. Mr. Hit it really, really far guy.
He doesn't have a good enough short game. I don't think. I don't think there's like any his golf thing is like a pyramid with the farthest point over for driving and then zeros for everything else. I'll be fascinated to see how he does it, to see if he can move it around, because I mean he hits the ball so far, but I think they said that you had to be an elite iron player and in the top 30 off the tee strokes gained, and he is not on that list. Berger is, but he is not on that list.
He might figure it out. We'll see. Long shots. I don't know if any of our long shots for any of our roundtables have ever really gotten that close. So anyway, all right. So let's talk.
Phil Mickelson got second place at the Masters. I called him for that, and you told me I couldn't. He got second place.
You can call Phil.
No, I'm not calling it now. I'm just saying you're talking about long shots. I called Phil.
Jonathan,
and
he keeps picking live guys. I think maybe secret live fan.
Listen, I've been watching it on FX.
He must have
amazing.
the CW.
Yeah.
You were the one.
They're on Fox now.
They found him. Somebody in Augusta's been watching. All right, so let's go into favorites. Who do we think's actually going to win this thing?
You just picked on me, and I'm going to have to say it. I was really thinking it, though. Brooks Koepka. I think he's going to win his third leg. I think he comes back with his third leg, and now he's just ready for the Masters.
There you go.
So I would be glued to the television if Brooks
Right.
on Sunday.
Right. It'd be so good.
Yep.
Who's he going to be in a playoff with? Pick the person
Fleetwood.
that would make.
Tommy Fleetwood.
Oh, I'd be torn. I'd be just destroyed.
And
My heart
JJ
would be-
Spawn. and Wyndham Clark.
Oh gosh.
Next question. All right, so Koepka for Jonathan. Kirsch, who you got winning this thing?
Man, I've gone back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. and my heart, because I really want him to win something outside of the PGA. And I do
Right.
think he's one of the more golfer, capital G guys that can hit all the different golf shots. JT's record in the Open has been so bad. Like, I looked at it and I was, man, if he wins, this is my just throwing it out there in case he's in the ballpark type of pick. But I think that this is going to be Scotty Scheffler's. This is his moment. He's going to uh, get 2/3 of the or 3/4 of the way to the Grand Slam. He's over there and going through the trials and tribulations of the Scottish Open and the mental ups and downs that that provides. He's there for 2 weeks. He's acclimated. He's all of those things. And he's every week he's getting more comfortable there. And I feel like it's how he was at Augusta. I feel it's how he was at the PGA, where he just got more comfortable and he just kind of wore it down. I don't think he's going to jump out to an early lead, but he played amazing last year once he made the cut and finished high and was right there. But I think he was one of those guys that made the cut on the number and was one of the few guys from his draw to do it. And I think as long as he's on the proper side of the draw, I'm gonna say that this is Scotty Scheffler's time.
I love it. I love it. All right. My pick, I am going, maybe not redemption, but one that Mr. Jonathan Hill will really love. I'm going with Tommy Fleetwood. I think he's going to get it done and going to make it happen this time at Royal Portrush. So, Jonathan, what do you think about that?
I'm all for it. If I think it'd be great. I love Tommy Fleetwood. I think his emotions whenever he lost a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago. I think it's perfect. Go get it.
Yeah, I think everybody loves Tommy Fleetwood. He's one of those guys that I think anybody would be happy to see win this thing. Kirsch, would you be happy to see Tommy win?
Yeah, yeah, that'd be totally fine.
All
I'd
right.
stick around for that one.
You
I'd
stick.
watch that one.
Very nice. All right. Any closing thoughts, guys, as we wrap this thing up? I'm excited
I,
for our early morning text threads. I'll have to turn the do not disturb off early.
I was going to say, how early
Starts
does
at
it
three
actually
o'clock
start?
Central Time. That's when time. Well, actually, Peacock comes
Wow.
on at 1:30, but um, I can't do that. But
No,
I think I'll be up in that 3 o'clock hour to check on the leaderboard, see what's going on.
it'll be a good time. Well, guys, fun as always to chat about random golf stuff with you guys. And we'll all get together and play. Maybe we'll go take one of these trips and go tour Ireland and Scotland while not watching the Open Championship, but go play a lot of fun golf and see how well we would do on the link style courses. We'll head back over and let Jonathan teach us how to play.
88, baby.
For Jonathan and for Josh and David, this is Robbie. You guys have been listening to another Best Ball Roundtable. Y'all enjoy the Open.